Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25 days. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, that's what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
You are now tuned in to episode 16 of the Swerve City Podcast.
Oh, all right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm going in with my
CCW style.
CZ.
Did you say CZW?
You can say whatever you want.
Oh,
No, you can't.
My God. Whoa, look at you. This guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got that Lucha House Party in the building
Yes,
today.
sir.
Woo,
Yes,
woo.
sir. Swerve City.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Lucha,
What's
all
up,
that good
guys?
stuff.
Yo,
I see your
what up?
eyes.
What
I
up?
see you.
I see
He
you.
sees me. Lince is really upset because the Eagles game is on right now,
I'm very upset.
and he can't be watching it.
Look, I need
Not only him, but Mike
and
is
the
as well.
feeds, all the feeds. I need score updates.
Yeah, keep giving score
Score
updates
updates,
for the 10 minutes
Let's
we'll be
go
on it.
Eagles.
Cool.
Let's go Eagles.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
But yes,
Go
here we
Bears?
are.
Does it go Bears?
Get out of here.
You get out of here.
So here we are, episode 16, Swerve City Podcast. You know how to check us out. YouTube.com/Swerve
Subscribe,
City
guys.
Podcast. Subscribe.
Nice.
And this is episode 16. So what we're going to say is this is the last episode of season 2, y'all. We're closing out the new year, 2019.
2019
With the Lucha House Party. So
Lucha House
we're going to be coming back 2020 in January. We will
You
give
already
you
know who
further.
you're gonna have?
We don't even know yet.
You
But
don't know who the first guest is?
we don't know. We don't know. It could be a number of people. But we closing out the year 2019 with a great cast right here, man.
Right.
Wow,
That's
I
the
appreciate
part.
being here.
Yes.
I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
we
you
are
for having me.
privileged
Thank
to
you.
have you here, but you know we got to get into the good stuff. You know, shout out around Seattle for the sponsorship, all this great stuff we have, all this great equipment that we use every week.
All this stuff.
I
all
told
that
Swerve
stuff
coming
good,
in
man, we
here.
got.
This is an incredible, professional-looking setup.
Bro, I don't play around,
That's
man.
pretty cool.
We don't
Can
play
I live
around
here?
here.
Can I
Around
live here?
Seattle, thank you for all this stuff.
Thank you for
Can I
all
live
this.
right
Shout out
here?
every
All
day.
cool stuff.
Every day.
There we go.
Swole, how you been? What's up, Big Swole over here? Ha!
Ha!
Oh,
Ha!
oh, before we get into it, funk is on a roll.
Aye!
Funk is on a roll.
Hey, baby, so
Funk
what they
is
call
on
no,
a
we fucking get
roll.
funky in the night. Somebody call my mama. Say what?
Wow.
What you got?
What they got?
What you got?
What they got for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We gotta close it out with a
All
good
right,
one.
That was good.
Yes.
That was
Who's got the
great.
best vocals?
Ooh, the Krispies. It depends on I got my monster drink, so I might have them right now.
Oh, cool.
But yes, well, tell everybody what's been up. What you been up to lately? Been a lot of good things happening for you this way.
Yeah.
of course.
You know, I just got confirmed. I got a jizob, you know, now.
Hey!
I got a
Hey!
jizob.
Money,
Calvin's got a job.
I got a
Man,
job.
Hey.
I got a
Money,
job.
money, baby.
Everybody that I owe money to, I ain't got it right now.
Can I borrow
But,
$100?
wow, that's pretty
it's
cool.
coming.
Hey,
It's on the
Oh,
way.
wow.
Swole, what you
Checks-
get me for Christmas?
Checks in the mail.
For real.
What you get me for Christmas? I'm right here.
So what I'm doing,
Wait, I'm right here. I take PayPal.
Huh?
What?
What you trying to say?
Where's my Christmas present?
Your Christmas present.
Where's my
I'm
Christmas
just
card?
sitting here
I'm
watching the whole show. Look at this.
Did you get
I
a
got you
Christmas card?
something special. It's special. You're gonna have
Just
to
say
wait
yes.
till Christmas
Yes.
though to
All right.
get
Yes,
it.
I
All right, you gotta wait.
I
You gotta
did.
wait. You gotta wait. But yes, my life is interesting. I am #all elite. So you know, one for
Stank.
me. Yes. And I'm just chilling, living life. I stopped the indies for a little minute, but I'll be back in 2020 with a new version of Swole 3.0. So be on the lookout.
Cool.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Swole
It's coming
3.0,
through.
yeah.
Coming
That's a
through.
nice ring to it.
Wow.
Shout out to my brother
Swing to it.
Thank
Teasy
you.
Scott over here. What's going on, Monteasy? Tell him what's been up, man.
What's going on, man? First of all, man, we've been in the studio, man.
Yes, sir.
You know? We've been in the studio, man. So, you know, crispy, I'm clear? All right. We've been in the studio, man. We've been working, man, for Humble Beginnings coming April 4th. Me and Swerve have been working on this album, classic material. We've been in the studio heavy. Very, very proud of the project we've been working on so far. We have something coming special in the new year. Can't really give you too many details on that, but
Can you
make
give me
sure
something? Give me all the details.
I will off camera.
Text it to me.
yeah, I'll DM you. And make sure you guys, stay tuned with everything we have going on. Go to Swerve City on iTunes. Google us, Instagram us, and check out all the music we have coming. There's a lot going on with the music. Otherwise,
this next single, boy, you're gonna be fired. Look for it in January.
That song's gonna be big,
single.
man.
This will be the 4th single from the album too.
Absolutely, and make sure you guys also, check out Wednesday, for the All Elite, because my second song for the All Elite will be debuting with my wonderful sister here. We went in the studio and cooked something up last week, so that'll be debuting Wednesday. So the takeover over there begins. And, it's a wonderful feeling, man. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
Now, without further ado,
Yeah.
let's bring it to the guest of the evening, Lucha House Party, man. Minus Metal League. Wish we could have him here.
What are you at? Where you at?
I was going to ask you.
I texted
Where
him.
you at though?
What is up, guys?
What's been
Where you
going
at?
on?
Where you at?
I'm right here.
Where you at?
We're Swerve City, baby.
Okay, that's Swerve City.
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Nice.
Man, 2019 coming to a close. Everybody in here pretty much had a really good year, but y'all killed it this year, man.
What a crazy
Thank you.
year.
Yeah,
Y'all
it was
killed
really
it.
Cool. I mean,
What a crazy year.
what a roller coaster with us, right?
We started 2019.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. Same thing where we came together. First time ever, right?
Right.
2000.
Oh,
I was gone for a little bit. I came back. That was what? 2018.
Feels like yesterday, dude.
Dude, really? I didn't even know what
dude.
year we're in right now.
Dude.
2019.
Dude,
Gosh.
the WWE year is like, it flies by. You think like 3 years went by, but it's really like, oh, and it's only been like 8 months, man.
And it's changed so much every single time. I feel like every big show, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, everything just completely changes. And it's like, you get excited, what's going to happen?
Then you get drafted to Raw and stuff, man.
NXT, then the next week.
SmackDown, I should say.
Yeah,
SmackDown.
NXT, then the next week you're on 205, and then Survivor Series was incredible.
This isn't about me tonight.
Oh, no.
This is about you guys. This is about y'all.
wrestling.
Speaking of Survivor Series, Kalisto had an awesome 3-way
Yes,
for
sir.
the Cruiserweight Championship match.
Were you blown?
I was watching
Were you
that. I was
blown?
like,
I wasn't blown, man.
Were you
I wasn't
blown?
was he blown? Was he blown?
Were you? Were you though?
He was good.
I was actually great.
I was
you know?
very proud of my friend's performance, actually.
Dude, I was in awe. I'm like,
Oh, dude,
y'all don't know what's about that.
I didn't even know that match was happening until
me
it
neither.
showed up.
Until I saw it on the
Because we
Twitter.
thought we were in just that tag team.
Yeah, that's right.
That tag team.
Oh, yeah,
gauntlet
yeah.
Or something like that.
But
You
y'all
know,
can
I'm
take
always
it.
ready, so
Yeah.
we're always ready, dude.
Always ready.
You know, we just had fun, man, especially with Tozawa, and I think it was pretty cool. But we killed it.
Killed
We
it.
killed
Flames. I was in like
cool.
awe.
Flame emojis.
All right, so we're going to get into the origin of both of you guys. My man, Chicago. My man over here. Where we at? Philly, Pennsylvania?
Camden area. Camden, New Jersey.
Camden, Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So you
easy
can
to-
still count it Philly.
Yeah, it's easy to
Yeah.
say Philly. People. know
I'd rather
that.
say Philly. Jersey is.
Bad experience.
Basura.
Bad experience.
Basura.
Bad experience.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing but bad experiences.
I love New Jersey, but I love Florida. So
Love Florida.
I kind of it grew on me too.
Yeah, Florida.
Dude, I tried it when I first got here. I'm like, wow, amazing and stuff, and especially going to Disney, Universal. Fell in love with it, man. I've never been to Disney or Universal, so that was my first time when I actually got hired, and I moved to Orlando for the first time. So that was my first time. Like, yo, let's go to Disney. We did. So it's cool.
What was the experience of growing up in Chicago? Or were you growing up in Chicago?
Hell yeah, I was, man. South side from Chicago, it's like.
Let them know.
Right.
Let them know. Talk your thing.
Yeah. But I grew up in Chicago. Then it's funny how I grew up, dude. Because I was born in Chicago, and then I lived in Mexico City for 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
What age?
Was like 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then I went back, and I just was going back and forth my whole life. So I kind of felt like I grew up on both.
Yeah.
But I did grow up in the crazy tough part, South Side.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was rough, but right,
I've always.
I met Manny. I met Kalisto in Chicago.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him in Chicago 2007.
Was
No,
it
2008.
2008? Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't even start wrestling yet.
Yeah, 2008.
Wow.
Cicero Stadium.
Cicero Stadium, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember who you wrestled, but I remember who I wrestled.
Was Cassandro there?
Cassandro was there. I
Cassandro?
wrestled him on that show.
Shout out to
which was
Cassandro.
awesome. Yo, he's the best.
Yeah.
You know what we talk
Yeah.
about? Cassandro.
I do.
The best.
Lucha Baboon.
One of the best exoticals. out
Yeah.
there.
You have any
Maybe Charlie
experience?
Manson was
You had
there.
experiences
Yeah,
with
Charlie.
Skyda, both of you.
Sky.
Oh,
Oh
he
yeah.
helped train
yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
I trained
one of my
with him a
trainers,
couple times too.
Never met him. Never
Really?
Dude,
never
he's
met
good,
him.
man.
I feel like being out in that Philly area, you would have at least.
I got there in
crossed-
2011, end of 2011. So where was Skyda around?
Then, probably by then, he would have been either back in Mexico or
Yeah.
even in Chicago too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, that was like it feels like yesterday too, man. And we've been tagged before. We
Yeah.
tagged in Chicago.
Way before
We-
before WWE.
Yeah, way before. Yeah.
It's funny
That's
how
so
this
weird.
full circle
Yeah.
happens, man. It's crazy.
It's so comfortable. Like, I don't think maybe like 5, even like 10, definitely not 10 years ago, I wouldn't be as comfortable in the locker room because I don't feel like there's no brotherhood. Like I've came up in the ranks with you,
Yeah.
you know, and then like cross paths with you and definitely cross paths with
Me and
paths
Swerve
with you.
too.
Yes.
So then it's
Yeah.
like this interchanging web, and now it's like we just run in the world right now. So it's pretty cool.
We even fought in Evolve, right? Dude.
We had the one in Evolve.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that was the verse of the world.
Did we ever
Evolve
wrestle?
Evolve.
I don't know.
We had style battle.
Yes.
Yes, me,
Yes.
you, and Drew Gulak, and
Killed me.
Who? Me?
Yeah, Drew?
I didn't.
No,
killed you?
Drew did.
Drew.
Oh,
Oh,
of
well,
course.
duh.
I love the man.
Oh.
Love
In like
wrestling
2014, he was killing
Yeah.
everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Drew.
yeah.
Drew. He's the man.
He was finding his
Bless his
killing
heart,
ways.
Drew.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. He was another guest on here. Shout out Drew Gulak.
Oh yeah, Drew Gulak, baby.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But we're gonna go more into y'all backgrounds and everything. Definitely yours, Lince, coming up. But right now we gotta cut the feed because y'all gotta go and subscribe to the YouTube.com Swerve City Spot podcast, man.
Right,
Yeah.
support
That's
my
the only way you
boy
can
right
see the
here.
rest of this.
Howdy.
Before we
Support my boy
go
here.
out, let me give both of you guys a shout out to Allie, real cool fan.
Really cool fan. Shout out, Al.
Shout out Ali.
Shout out, Ali.
Yes,
Shout-
sir.
Yeah, get it,
shout
get
out.
it. Allie,
Yeah.
what's up? Thank you. Subscribe. Patreon, too. Swerve
Right,
City Podcast on Patreon.
That's how you spell it, y'all, because y'all always ask me. That's how you spell it.
How do you spell Swerve
I'm
and
saying it every
City?
episode.
Swerve
That's how you
City,
spell it.
guys. Support my boy right here. He's a cool guy. Cool
That's how
cat.
you spell it.
That's how
Support,
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
Check out the
Alright.
rest of this interview on the YouTube page. Yeah, I can't read.
And
Swerve City.
and the Patreon.
I
And
can't
the
read my own
Patreon.
sign. I can't read my
Patreon
own
for extra
sign.
content as well.
Alright.
And follow us on Snapchat, too.
Follow us on Snapchat. Anything else?
And
And,
follow on YouTube, Lucha Family. Lucha.
Yes.
Follow
Lucha Family.
Lucha Family is gonna get back on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
That's the end of that.
Right,
there. You
man.
can feel free to share
Hey,
that.
yo, how do you end
Cool,
this?
yeah, I
Oh,
did.
yeah, I got it. There you go.
We get tutorials on this every episode,
You know how
man.
to save it?
How do you save it?
Yep.
He's like,
hold on.
Is that an
We had
iPhone?
this problem
And
before.
now.
Okay.
And then share a story, right?
Share story. Oh, okay.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Dude, in Europe, right?
Yes, in Europe. Dude, we had this problem.
Dude, we.
Can you get up on that mic when you talk a little bit?
Yes, sir. Can we move this a little bit? Or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I just?
That's the strong one.
Is this
mic
good?
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Is
Yeah.
my good side?
That's golden.
Fun.
Hey,
Alright.
it's 10-3, by the way.
10-3 Eagles?
Nah.
Don't tell me this.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
So, growing up Chicago, back and forth to Mexico. You were growing up in Jersey? Or were you
Yeah,
moved around a
Jersey.
lot? So, stayed in Jersey?
Jersey the whole time. Same
Really?
spot. Same area.
Oh, man. What was it like?
08 105.
Ooh, you still remember it.
Yes, sir.
I forget
Man.
everything about Jersey after I left. Me
where,
personally.
where were you at in Jersey, though?
I was Pennsylvania. I was Central PA. I was York.
York.
York and
Yeah, we
Lancaster.
talked about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
York and Lancaster. So I was around Rich Swan when he was like 11, 12.
York
and
was
I didn't know him.
Oh,
York
Swanee.
was my debut.
I didn't know him, but we lived in the same town
Mm-hmm.
and same schools and stuff, and we just like kind of like
Isn't
intertwined
that
in our lives.
isn't that crazy how we all like end up again
In the
together
same
in
spot.
the same
Together.
spot? Yeah, yeah.
It's nuts.
It's
so-
crazy.
I always find the wrestling world so weird. So like growing up in Jersey, man, like did you have a troubling struggle growing up, or was it
I felt
a-
like my area is very tough. Like everybody's area is tough,
Yeah.
but like every area, if you get stuck, you get stuck. So there's only one
Yeah.
way, and you either graduate school and get a job and try to like either live paycheck to paycheck, or you got to get out and start up new. And then, unfortunately, my father passing away due to certain circumstances made me realize like I needed to get out of that situation. Like I had a great life growing up. I had a great education. School was definitely very important to me. But my area, just like I could go back now just because I have family there, see them for a day or two, and then be like, I'm out. So
the fact you get that option,
yeah,
to do that
and now
is,
I can never raise my family there now. So
yeah. Same with you, Kalisto.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was trying to make me laugh. Always. Yeah, like really tough neighborhood. Same thing. Dude, I just like. I don't know what I was telling you. I was telling Apollo. I remember like just hearing gunshots outside my house and stuff, like, you know, people getting killed outside my house. That's how crazy it was, the area. But other than that, I mean, just, you know, I was always in the house. Like, I was bored, you know. I took classes like Taekwondo, and I always try to keep active, you know.
Yeah.
So then when I was going back and forth with Mexico and Chicago at the same time, I was raised over there too. So then I don't know, just started loving wrestling, and you know, I'm here.
Were you backyarding?
No, I wish I backyard. I never did. I never did. I never did.
Tell the truth.
I never.
You was back there backyard.
No, man. I wish I did. I was always like. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you?
Dude, I got scars from
Bro,
it.
of course.
I was doing like
Did you have a
hardcore
ring
stuff.
though?
We didn't have a ring. We had a makeshift
Eventually,
ring.
we had a ring.
No, we had a makeshift ring. We went around neighborhoods and like stealing mattresses.
Dude, I got
that were getting
booked by
thrown out.
another. I got booked by another backyard wrestling promotion.
See, I wish I would have had that.
You know who
right
I
there.
met there? Joe Gacy.
Oh, so I think I might know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
but I never in high school.
There's a couple other people.
Ooh,
yeah.
See, like shout out Joe Gacy and Evol right now, killing it, doing his
killing
thing.
it.
CZW champion right now, actually.
Yeah,
Joe Gacy.
I know that was a big thing for him because like all those guys aspired. I didn't know anything about indie wrestling until like I started training.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, what
Same
is this
here.
world, dude? What is this world?
Man.
And then
go ahead.
seeing them, like seeing that open up my eyes, and I loved it.
Now, what were you trained originally?
Where?
Yes.
At the Chikara Wrestling Factory.
Chikara.
So originally it was Chikara with CZW.
Yes. I wish I would have came in at that time.
And then I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I got in with a couple other guys and Fidian and Amasis. That's my boys out there.
Deshaun Pratt now.
Deshaun Pratt. Man, I just hit him up too.
That's
a good brother.
I need to talk
Please
to him.
hit him up, yeah.
I will.
Shout out
Mike
to you
Quackenbush.
guys.
She's on the wall somewhere over here.
Hey.
Yeah, so if you're interested in going to get into this wrestling game, man, check out Shakara, Mike Quackenbush, phenomenal trainer. One of the products of right here. I got to meet a lot of these guys
among
late.
other trainers, but yes, Mike Quackenbush definitely helped me too.
Yeah, yep,
Oh, for sure.
But yes.
That's good.
So influences, of course, there's always lucha influences in all you guys, man. Who are your influences coming up in the ranks, man? Early on, who'd you watch young?
Tinieblas. You know, you recognize him? He has a mask with a big triangle kind of figure.
Oh, yes.
Super tall with a mini.
Black and gold.
Yes. Oh, dude, Tinieblas. It's because, like, out of every luchador, like, his mask stood out to me.
Yes.
And his character's based, like, from space. You know, he's from Jupiter. So he's like
interesting planet.
He's like a hybrid luchador that I saw.
It's better than Uranus.
Yeah.
Booyah! Always one.
This guy.
Ding. Yeah.
I like Psychosis, man.
Yeah.
I saw him before I saw this war, the Super J Cup.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ray was very incredible, just like he is today. Probably still just, he's
top
just
of
going
his
to get
game
great.
still.
Yeah, he's going to be still just rising. But like Psychosis was like just keeping up and just making him look great. And to me, that was like an incredible art.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I appreciated that a little bit more than I did like the actual like moves. But then like you put it all together, it's like just beautiful.
Dude,
it's like
Ray was my number one, but man, like Ultimo Guerrero. Ray was my number one.
Ultimo Guerrero?
Ultimo Guerrero was my alternate. He was like one of my favorites, man. Like,
yes.
He was a hefty, big guy too.
Yes.
He was one of the bigger guys who could do everything. He was the first one I ever seen like do the crossbody backflip with him off the top.
Averno was another one.
Averno, yes.
Yeah.
Averno, man. He's just his heart, man.
Again, another good base who I thought made Mystico look great.
So moving on, I say I met you around this. I met Kalisto. I believe I met Kalisto prior. I want to say your name, but I'm not going to do it.
I said it like 5 times.
What, Manny?
Oh, we can say Manny too.
Yeah, Manny.
Yeah, drop it, baby.
I have it on my Instagram. Manny Money.
Manny, hey, Manny Money.
Man,
We might got something here. We gonna cook up something, man. We might get the studio with this one, man. Manny Money.
Oh, Kofi knows about that, man.
Yeah.
Manny Money, baby.
Hey, Manny Money.
Money.
But yeah,
Man.
I met you around 2012. This is like CZW time when we did
Yes.
the Indianapolis show.
Yes.
You wrestled?
That was fun.
Dude.
He was there. Lince was there.
No, he wasn't.
No.
I thought,
No,
I'm
not
actually,
that one.
I'm thinking best of the best.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
best of the
thinking.
best.
My bad.
But I met you before that when you wrestled Apollo Crews. Ooh-ah.
Yes.
Yes,
my
that
boy.
match.
Oh, I
Oh
love that
my
guy.
God, I
Love
still
him.
remember that match to this day.
Real.
Like blew my mind.
Oh.
And this is like 2012, so I'm still like trying to get into CZW. I'm still there.
Mm-hmm.
Like blew my mind.
2012. Damn.
2012.
I think I might have been. Oh, I was definitely down in Florida by then.
Oh, so you did move by then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did move by, but I was going back and forth
You got you.
for a while.
Yes.
I'm
So
remembering that match now.
yeah.
Yeah, Uha, he was scared of taking the reverse round. He's like, I never taken it, bro.
Yep.
Well, I'm like, dude,
He
you
can't
got
take
it. You got it. Yo, it was dope.
You got it, bro.
It was
Like
dope.
this.
He's the most athletic human
Yes.
being.
Oh man.
One of the most athletic
I
human beings
love
ever.
One of
working
the
out.
nicest dudes.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Super nice.
Still the same
Super
person to this
athletic.
day.
Nice.
Yeah. Still
He's small as hell though.
Never changed.
He's still small though.
He's still short.
Yeah.
Still small
Still
little.
short.
Yeah.
Like a little milk nut.
Dude. But I remember that match like it was yesterday, and that right then and there, I knew I was like, "Yo, this man's gonna be an absolute star. This man was gonna take off." From then on, did best of the best. We did aerial assault together.
Aerial assault. Yeah, dude.
I did one of the most riskiest moves ever.
I saved you.
He
Man,
saved
I
me.
saved your butt,
He
man.
saved me. Dude. Okay, so aerial
Oh,
assault.
God.
For people that at home that are watching this that don't know what an aerial assault match is,
Look it up.
We've all done it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We've all done
It's
aerial
awesome.
assault matches in CZW. Check it out. It is basically a multi-man scramble match, but they put a box on the top of the post, so it's even higher.
Box.
It's like a 3-foot big box, so it's even higher, and we all do dives off of it to the floor, to the outside on
You did
everybody.
double backflip.
No.
I know.
Here
I
it
did. So it came
Here
down.
it comes.
This is my debut match on CZW.
Yeah, he was really nervous. I'm like, dude, I got you, bro. It's okay.
I was
It's all
like
good, it's all
thrown
good.
in too. So and it's me, you, Uha's in there, and like is me and Manny. Manny's on the mat. I go to the top of the box. I attempt and do a 630
Oh sh.
off the top of the box.
And I'm laying down like this, dude. I'm
He's
like
laying
this.
there.
I'm like, oh my god.
I'm like, I don't
He's
get
gonna-
the full rotation, and I like head spike right on top of him, but he puts his hand
But
out and like
I did-
covers my head.
So I'm looking at his. Dude. I have a like history with head injuries. So, I see your head, dude, and it's going. It's gonna spike, and I'm like, nope.
Yep.
Oh man,
I
you
feel
hit
like
my
that's the
forearm,
first thing I'm
dude. It
trying to
was-
protect.
Dude.
Oh, dude, like
Without this man out, I don't think I'd be wrestling.
dude, like I
Such
just.
a great person for.
Oh
He
man.
kind of get some of that love and tender care on the way down on the 630.
Amor.
He was there and
Same.
protecting me.
What is mama name?
From then on, goes on to Evolve,
Yeah.
wrestles El Generico in the series of matches,
Oh, for real.
which took the Indies by
That's-
storm.
Yeah.
Talk
That
about
was
that,
cool.
dude. I'll never forget those.
It was dope, man. I mean, El Generico took me to another level. Like from there, I was like, oh man, okay, now I'm starting to get it. You know,
Mhm.
like it took me that while. I mean, dude, I'm still learning right now. You know, I'm still like trying to perfect my stuff and just trying to get better. You know how it is.
Yeah,
And just trying to be
We're all
perfect.
perfectionists.
Yes, exactly. That's why we
Everybody.
get along so much. So we just try to perfect our art, even though like when you do something cool, man, that was real cool. I'm like, but deep down, I'm like, you know what, I could have done it better.
Yep. Every time.
You know.
The
See,
Generico's the one that brings it out of you.
Yes, and he brought it out of me.
Yes.
And when I was training in Mexico, I'm like, what's something new you can teach me to my old trainer that passed away, Gran Apache. And yeah, he taught me my real art of lucha libre, man. Dude, when he was teaching me new stuff, and like this one move only me and Generico did, like he pops me up for like a power bomb,
Yes.
and I arc my back mid-air, so like when he catches me for like a Dragarana look, it kind of like looks like the illusion looks like you never touched the ground. So it's, man, dude, and we did that at Evolve on our
Dude.
second series.
I'll never forget that series. That's like, I'm like, this is what made him, man. This is it. Boom. And then next thing you know, boom, took in the freaking Full Sail and Performance Center
there,
down in Orlando, man. Well, what do you feel like you've had that same type of that light bulb that went off, or you're like, you just got it? When did you get that?
I don't know. You know, me and Manny always talk about this. Like, we always hope, and together right now we're a group as a team, but we always hope like one day we're rivals. And we've always secretly been rivals since the day one when I met him in Chicago. It's like, and we even like told each other later, we're like, you know, I didn't really like you when
I didn't really like you either, bro.
And we had maybe just one word, just like, hi, I'm Lince. He's like, hi, I'm Kalisto.
But we always trying to one up each other. So
but then
trying to be like me, man.
But then secretly, like we weave in and out of the indies, and then where we're at now. But like we've always crossed paths and like always sparked and like always rejuvenated our like rivalry and just push us more because like. Even right now at the gym, like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, you only did 5? Well, I did 6.
Yeah.
Like,
dude.
And he's like, well, I'm doing another set.
Yeah, I
well,
forgot about
2
that.
more. And he's like, yeah. And like, just that, it's good motivation for each other. Like I had that with Cedric when we were on Raw, and I was like, when I got drafted to SmackDown, it was good, but it's good because it's like good opportunity. But it's like I remember we left the building a little bit early, get into the hotel, and we were about to go in, and my phone goes off. I'm with Cedric in the car, and my friend, not even a wrestler, he's like, "Hey man, congratulations on getting drafted to SmackDown." I was like, "What the hell?" And like Cedric's talking, I have no idea what he's talking about, and I'm just like in shock, like, because we're convinced that we're gonna stay on Raw, and I was like, made all my plans, told my family, my girl, and
Everything just changes.
Wrote my whole like instantly, like, and I just tell Cedric like, I just got drafted to SmackDown, and he's just like, I felt like my road wife. I got a divorce, and I was like,
it happens. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Boom.
bro, it sucks. I was like, but luckily, like video games and still with texting and all that, we're still close and all that, so it's pretty good.
It's hard.
Life is still good.
It's hard to get detached from Cedric, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
He's still ugly, though. No, I'm just kidding.
What you say?
Hold up. Wait, what?
Hold on.
No.
What you trying to say?
No, he's a good looking guy.
Say this to my face.
No, I'm scared.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
He ain't even saying it when it was real face.
No, you're not.
See.
Speaking of your face.
Oh no.
Before I, beat you up. But anyway, about these masks here. So.
I brought a special one.
You bought, yeah. What is that? Yeah, show us.
I'm gonna touch it.
No. I want you to touch it. I want you to show
that's
it
good
up.
because he has respect.
So
why is this mask special?
Because
yes.
I actually, I did wear this
skinny.
on 205, and for a reason, 2 reasons. One, I love ECW. Everything about ECW was incredible. Shout out to Paul Heyman. And what I wanted to do too is I also love wrestling and the 205 product, especially when we were on there having fun and killing it. All the performers. I know, we talked about it. As soon as you did, I was like,
right?
I literally just got drafted.
My dude.
And I was like, you know what? I want to kill it. I wanted a special mask and blend the two, ECW and the 205. And we got this 205 Live kind of symbol on the back that my mask maker, Sancho Jr., he's pretty cool. Go ahead and check him out on Instagram. Had made, so I thought I'd bring it to the show.
He does all your masks?
Awesome.
He does most of them,
Yeah, who does, you do your own?
I do my own gear.
Gear?
Yeah, I do my own gear.
Yeah, so the gear making process, man. The gear making process, I've always thought that was so interesting because in the wrestling world, it's really, really hard to find someone who's reliable, affordable, and this is going to be consistent with the material and like the look.
Do you remember I made a set of gear for you?
You did.
A set of bikers.
You did.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, oh my god, I don't have them anymore. I sold them. My butt got too big. I got into squats.
Okay, there you go.
I saw
It
that
be like
deadlift.
Yeah. There you go.
Bro, I gave it a like. I saw that dead. Yeah, I was like, hold on.
I can lift
Actually, I
both
liked
of
it.
y'all 2
Unliked
times over.
it.
Oh,
And then liked it
wow.
Yeah.
Upper body business, bro.
Dude, he's a wide shoulder man.
Yikes.
You were always one of the hardest luchadors to base because you were top heavy.
A little bit.
Look,
A little bit. Yeah.
bro. I was like, man, he's so hard.
a little bit. Oh man.
I gotta throw him up on my shoulders.
Yeah.
He's like a Beyblade.
Bro, technique.
Sometimes you can't get
Technique.
the-
I've been
That
doing
cheerleading
like
in college.
yeah.
Do you design your own masks?
Yeah.
Does it mean something special, or is it like a purist or traditional?
So we actually all went through different masks from our original mask till now. I know you've added some stuff that's been the same from your original Samurai do Soul mask.
So
right?
this is actually this design right now.
Right.
This is the Samurai
Hey.
do Soul design.
Tell me about that Samurai do Soul.
So this design again. He's like, hey, he cuts me off. Yeah.
All
So
the
yeah,
time.
it's a Samurai do Soul design, but still had the same eye, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
Mm.
The same but different. Like how
The
Dorito used to say. I always say that. Like
The
the
same
same
but
but different.
different.
Like okay.
The same but different.
Oh man, dude, I got some good stories with him. Oh man, so funny, so funny. Yeah. But when you were saying like what it means, like my mask, like it has the spikes, which means the three styles: Lucha Libre, American, and Japanese.
Mm.
So the middle one being American WWE style. So it's like that's how I just had it different, being different.
Right.
The side means like the wings, the style that of a high flyer that I am, and the tail that I always wear in the back. It means the journey that led me to WWE.
Wow.
Mm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
More people need to know
And
that.
your fur just means that you just like cats?
Actually,
he has nice, beautiful fur.
I have two cats. They're all rescue cats that picked me actually. One after
Thank you for picking rescue.
they picked me.
Oh.
It was funny because they both happened at the same time. My family was like, "Mom, can we get a cat?" And like right after the hurricane, one lady had these cats in a cage, and I was like, "Oh man, these cats are gonna be crazy." And I walked up, and this black and white cat, I still have him to today. He's the king of my house. His name is Prince. He just walked up to me and he was like, "Yo, you gotta take me today." I was like, "All right, we'll take this one."
you gonna take me today?
Yeah, I was like, "All right."
He
we'll
said,
take
"Sup?" Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's ready to
The
go.
other one was the live event that we did in Texas.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that you got
Sukasa
a
is
rescue cat. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But he was the nicest cat. I've never had any problems with him. My kids love him. He's never like bit, scratched anything. Like the best cuddler. Like
He's good at the cuddles.
Yeah, all the best. The king. of the
Everybody
house.
likes a good cuddle.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll bring you over to Teasy's table for a second here,
Teasy
man.
table.
And over here,
You
what
got
I do,
tea here?
man, I like to ask you guys about some
Ask me. Ask us.
about some music choices you guys have. So tell me a little bit about your musical inspirations growing up. Who was somebody you was listening to as you was coming up?
We were just listening to Dale Gas.
I'm burnt out.
Hey.
Shout
No,
out
no,
burnt
The
out.
ri- so he just told me there's a song
There's
that.
a song called Dale Gas.
Ah,
There's a song called
What came first? I don't know. Chicken or
name,
the egg? Don't.
anyways, it was a good song. Just
Absolutely.
like I listen to everything. I mean, it could be rap, it could be reggaeton, it could be. We could even listen to Pokemon depending on on the mood, whatever. So yeah, dude, we're
Straight
like,
driving blast.
yeah, we're like, I want to be the very best that no
Ray
one
Metallic
ever
has his headphones in
was.
the background.
Yeah, he's like this. He's like,
He's like,
good.
what are you
No,
listening to, man?
he's in the background. He's like, oh yeah.
Have you been around him enough?
Oh,
for
Oh,
like-
a little bit.
Oh,
Only
you're
a
gonna
little
get
bit.
that. You're gonna get that.
Oh yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like, where you come from?
Oh my god.
absolutely. So that's who's in your playlist now. Like anybody, like who in hip hop terms do you listen to? As far as hip hop music,
Drake. It could be depending on the mood. I listen to a lot of Bad Bunny.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's the new hot thing
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
We actually been listening. Me and my wife have been listening to him for a while, and then he just blew up ever since.
Right.
You know? NF.
Sorry. Sorry about-
it all depends. Whatever.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about we have this discussion. Me and Swerve have this discussion about musicians and entertainers, and also knowing that in the field of what I am, which is hip hop music, and I do theme songs and I also make other kind of music. We had this discussion of saying in my respective genre that we really have a shelf life, at least in the hip hop terms. But as in maybe a AC/DC or Rolling Stones, they can last and tour forever. Do you feel that way? not only in the wrestling terms, but as artists, do you think there's like a shelf life for certain wrestlers, or do you think that certain people can,
especially being high flyers?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I think, well, for example, I think everybody's reaching for the different pop. Like AC/DC was reaching for like worldwide, global of the music world, rather than like, I want a hot single.
Absolutely.
I want my album to be hot. But like P. Diddy, Jay-Z, like they got empires. Like why? Because they're thinking of more than what their next song is or what their next album is. They're thinking what that next yearly paycheck or royalty is going to be. You know, they're thinking of the future.
Absolutely.
So, shelf life, yeah, I think we all got a shelf life. But as long as body-wise, for us at least as wrestlers, like we could use our minds. And I think that's where other people don't use both. They use one, they use the body to make the money. But like sometimes you got to use the mind to make the money too.
So
hustle.
Actually, and I told you and Metallic too. Like when I first came in, they gave me good advice. It's like, all right, do something that you can do to that would last in 10 years. You know, like your moveset. That 10 years from now you can do it. You can still do it.
Absolutely.
Because dude, like if you think about it, I mean, we're small, but we do like crazy stuff. We can do it. We can even be more crazier. But at the same time, it's like everybody's different.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So everybody's different. It all depends. You know, like I know, like I can work. I know when I'm 50 or 60, but I can be smart about it. You know, that's what Lisa was saying too. That we can be smart about it and work our way around it. And it's just like I said, everybody's different.
Absolutely. Do you find as you guys get older, because I've been this stage, and me and Swerve were talking about this yesterday, that when you get older, you kind of like have a certain kind of choice of music you listen to. Like you're not so open to listen to everything anymore. That's when you were younger.
Actually, that's how I feel in a way. Like, oh man, like,
you hear something,
I try it, but then like I'm kind of scared.
Are you talking about in general or like in certain?
I think
situations?
in general. No?
I think in general, like music, like music in general, like you. Like, I remember when I was a teenager, I would be open to damn near anything.
Same. Yeah, same.
I'd be like, oh, okay, let me try this out.
Yeah.
Now, like, my ear is so kind of, like, jaded.
I know my gym playlist is completely random.
Right.
Like, I don't listen to, like, even, like, when I'm just doing stuff around the house. Like, I don't know if that's because, like, even growing up, honestly, CZW was the first time Down With the Sickness they had... Oh, what's that song? Like,
I was just singing that song.
Crawling in the air tonight.
Phil Collins.
Oh, okay,
but what's it called?
What's the name of the song?
But anyway,
in the air tonight?
Something like that. Anyway, I didn't realize that I thought that was a wrestling theme song. And I didn't realize it was like this genre of music that was something completely different.
You know about Phil Collins?
No, but at that time, the only thing I knew was amateur wrestling and staying inside my house.
Oh, man.
Like, that was it. And like even my wrestling coach, like we would run to like even like Lincoln Park and like listen to the same theory, chaos theory, hybrid theory all the time.
Classic, boy.
Yeah. And like to me, I was like, what is this music? And that's what my introduction to all of this stuff. So right now, I'm still like just
I feel like
exploring.
I feel like wrestling themes is what got so many people into listening to rock music that don't listen to rock music.
And Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony
yes.
You feel me?
We're gonna talk about games. We can talk about games.
We're gonna go into Swole's World of that very, very shortly.
Yeah, we're gonna get in there. Yes.
We're gonna go into that very shortly. One follow-up question I have about that is like, I would like even like you said, the Linkin Park stuff. Like, you'd be like, yo, let me check this out. Take the CD home back when we had CDs, right? Back in them days.
Did you have a CD binder?
Oh my God!
Yes, same.
What? I still got mine in the crib.
Like in my car, like right there. I had like
you
those
missed flipping the
CDs.
CDs.
Like, yo, which one today?
That's where 70% of accidents happened in 2001.
Listen, we try to change it out.
Then Rito, I don't advocate for this, but at the time people were broke. You'd pirate the songs, you get like the LimeWire stuff like that, and get to burn the
What we talking
CDs
about? Yeah.
and hustle. Man, I'll be hustling, man.
My wrestling theme song music on LimeWire.
That's
LimeWire.
When we were backyarding, that's how we got track 1 is what's the name. Track 2 is what's the name. You knew this list.
I used to download the Titantrons too.
Yeah.
All the time.
Dude, those were the days, man. I miss CDs. I don't
know.
I miss it. I'm sorry. I miss it. I miss going to the store and waiting for one.
Yeah.
You would like the music video. They only give you like one music video at the time, maybe one or two.
Yeah,
and
3 max.
Yeah, 3 max
for the album.
And then you go to the store, and if you hear the preview, you'd only get like 20 seconds. 25 seconds for the song.
FYE, when
Yeah.
you just pressing the buttons, like,
Yeah, I remember that.
This is it. Oh, buy
That
the-
was dope.
buy the song.
Oh, that's Tell me why I need this. Okay.
Absolutely. Last music question. Tell me one of the guys I always am interested in listening to new people to try out. New inspiration for me. Tell me somebody.
Last night, man, it was a really hard time. He was really trying to struggle. He was struggling to find somebody new because he's like, hey, he was like sitting there playing his baseball, MLB.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Ooh, nice. Who's your team?
Yeah.
On my baseball team?
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee, man. I'm a Yankee
Right.
fan.
Oh, he's like, what do you think about that?
You a Philly? You a Philly?
Of course.
Okay, well, we good.
Okay.
We good. As long as it ain't the Mets, we cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Sox,
Okay,
we straight.
yeah.
but he was sitting there. He's like, say, man, somebody put on something new, something different. I want to change up my ear. We tried like 3-4 different artists. Was aside. He said,
To be fair, one on my New York. I'm like,
So why you put it on?
I just tried because I asked. I did ask. I kind of did ask,
he's like, you gonna find this trash.
And I get so frustrated sometimes because I'm just like, I'm like, man, I was like, man, I need something good, I need something good, and when you make music, you get kind of jaded, and you're just kind of like, it takes like back in the days, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'll give him a shot. Now it's like first 20 seconds, it's like next.
I'd be like that.
This doesn't hit me.
sometimes, though.
Yeah, absolutely,
Like that.
absolutely.
If I'm
So
not
let's
feeling it,
transition.
I realize the music is like not helping me out.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, and your patience gets like shorter too. You're like, come on, man,
Oh yeah.
come on.
Irritated. Get off the. How many more sets you got? Come on.
Yeah, it's like
I just started. Come on. Now.
a minute and a half intro.
Right.
We need to stop that. We need to get to the song.
Yes.
Like build up, let it build.
I'm
over that.
Guitar Hero.
So what do you what do you guys listen to while you guys work out? Or what do you listen to?
Oh man, when I'm working out,
How many?
it'd be easy to say Beast Coast, Flatbush Zombies. What up? Shout out Juice. Yeah.
sir.
But, yo, you know what a good go-to gym song for me? Hard in the Paint, Waka Flocka.
Talk about
It's
it.
a classic.
Talk about it.
One of the to this day, I think it's one of the hardest, best rap beats of all time. Trap beats.
Talk about it, man.
It's my go-to. I'm like, it never gets a skip. Never skip over it.
Mortal Kombat.
All right.
Mortal Kombat,
Mortal
the theme
Kombat.
song.
Mortal Kombat, the theme song. That's the first song on.
That's something you do that on the treadmill or something.
The lip to go. Like yo, all day.
Well, mine's kind of weird. I
25
actually listen to documentaries.
Hey.
Word?
I've seen it.
Word?
I've seen it.
So
Yeah,
what you
especially
smoking
like
for?
prime.
What is this?
What is it? Crime. Like crime
Like true
documentaries.
crime.
Yeah, true crime.
Ah, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like watching.
stuff
Listen
that.
to it, be like, so the
Yeah.
Australian
Like in
dolphin.
forensics files.
Yes.
And stuff.
I
I
like
like
all
all
that
that
stuff.
stuff too.
I don't know why, but I just listen to it and I watch the videos when I'm working out. I'm like, oh wait a minute, what's that? I'm like, oh wait, I don't know, but it's almost over. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I just keep going. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it keeps me focused on.
I like a sports show. A good sports show
Yeah.
sometimes. Like a first take. Yeah.
Like watching it or on the TV. I like
Oh,
when it's up.
I'll Spotify it like at the gym
Oh, really?
sometimes too. So I'm like, all right, I missed some
Are
stuff.
you, I like headphones. Noise canceling.
Yes,
Just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Don't say hi to me. Let me just do my thing.
Yeah, it could be dishes in the
You
sink.
could give me Psycho
listening
Sid,
to,
boom,
but I'm gonna
and
be.
then that's it. Like,
Yeah.
It's like Sid.
Yeah, bam. Right, Psycho Sid.
So what are you guys playing nowadays?
We're
Playing?
here.
Yes, we're here. We're in Swole's world now. This is where I talk about all my video games.
Oh.
Are we talking about all systems?
All systems. Any
Well, I have a video game. I'm sure you guys don't know. Yeah, dude. It's from Sega Genesis. Have you ever played Sega Genesis?
I have one.
I'm old enough to play Sega Genesis.
Dang.
I may not
He
look it,
tested
but
you.
You ever heard of?
I got one
uh,
too.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
Sega
so
CD?
I see this picture, and I meant to ask you.
Oh,
You know what this picture reminded me? If you know the game called Comic Zone.
Comic Zone.
Yeah.
Comic View. What?
Don't pretend like
Comic
you know.
Zone.
You don't remember because I don't remember that shit either.
So look it up, dude. Look it up, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Comic Zone.
Yeah,
Comic Zone.
because he has like a big ponytail, but his ponytail's blonde. And he's a white dude.
I'm gonna Google this.
So yeah.
Comic.
I'm on the Snapchat.
Yeah,
Don't
Comic
mind
Zone.
me.
Comic Zone. So
Comic
yeah,
Zone.
I'm sure there's people out there that know what I'm talking about. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite games. It was like a
Google
big
it.
comic,
Comic Zone.
and it's like a little cartoon,
The
and
cover?
his pet friend was a rat, and he helped him like rip the
Comic
pages
Zone.
and go into the next. There you go. There you go. Right there. Comic Zone.
I never heard
So
of
that's
this.
when I saw this. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh,
I'm
thank
like,
you.
yo, that's pretty cool. Because that's an old, character that I'm a fan of. Comic Zone. Pretty
Comic
cool.
Zone.
Dope.
Yep.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. You're
the
playing
Switch.
Pokemon now on the Switch.
I am playing Pokemon on the Switch. I will always play the Pokemon games. Those are funnest.
What's your starter
Oh,
Pokemon?
nice.
This one was Grookey, the grass Pokemon. I always will pick I like the grass Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta go fire. I gotta go fire. I gotta buy
Not in the
everything.
original game, you can't go fire, bro.
What? See,
The first 3 gyms.
oh, ain't good.
I mean, you could have a struggle.
I like Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
I-
Bulbasaur? I like Squirtle.
See now I heard with the new Pokemon they're
Remember
mixing.
the first Pokemon.
Right. I
He's
just
number
it's the
one.
cutest little thing. I just,
So who's your number one?
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, man.
I like Squirtle and Snorlax.
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 I was a Machamp dude.
I still play my cards.
Yeah. I
Dude,
like
I got like
What?
6
What's,
Charizards.
I
Still.
I still have my original Pokemon cards in my Pokemon binder I got from Walmart back in like '94.
Man, I lost all of mine,
Since it's
man.
all Prime and everything, I'm like, yeah,
Apparently-
this card's probably
dope.
worth
Apparently
whatever.
now they're mixing like types now.
There's too many.
They are?
Yeah.
There's too many types, but then they're
I'll
mixing
play
it in
but
double.
it's too many.
It's just like
This-
the Power
it's the same
Rangers, all right?
objective.
When you start going into space, you lost me.
Yeah.
All right? I like my Power Rangers on the ground.
Nice.
You know,
Once it got like beyond
fight
the
moves.
White Ranger, I was good.
I was like,
Yeah, then they
you
became
do-
cops. I was
Right.
like, wait, what?
What are we doing?
In time, I'm like,
I'm
they giving.
on fire
Did you have the
rescue.
Megazord?
What, why? What are we
I
doing?
never. That was the one
No.
toy I always
I
wanted.
had that. I wish I
That was
still
my
had
dream
it.
toy, man. I never got that one.
No,
Did you have it?
Dude.
I'll never forget when they started
Nobody
handing
had
out
it?
like
No,
they started handing
man.
out parking tickets one
Maybe mine
episode.
was
I'm
the
like,
biggest
I'm
one.
out.
I tell you what.
Done.
One toy that I wanted to have was like the Light Bright, and I never got it, and I still
You
probably
never got that?
I never
Light Bright?
got it. Well, I never got
I might
it.
have had a knockoff though.
You can get it now.
Yeah, you.
Yo, matter of fact, there's that show on Netflix that says like the toys when we were kids, and they
Oh, I
bring.
watched
Yes.
that.
You
Yeah,
been
yeah.
watching
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I need to start watching.
I was watching the Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
the one
cool.
I stopped
Pretty
at.
cool.
I was like, I need to get that. That was so much
Brings me
nostalgia.
back, man.
Ninja, I love Ninja Turtles, especially that Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
They
is
got
was
that
like-
mini
Yeah.
arcade. Did you see that mini arcade?
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
got the Ninja Turtles. Was that arcade one or something like that?
Yo, like
Something like
that's
that.
fun.
I mean, I haven't emulated, but
a couple episodes ago, we had Adam Cole up in here, and he got like a big old arcade system put in his house now, and it has like what 1,500 games on it.
Nice.
Built
You got
in
something
it.
like that.
Mine has 2,000.
Talk about it.
Flex, son.
Talk about it.
Flex.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
My brother
Mine
who
has
made my
2,000.
emulator,
And it has
his,
everything.
Like, has
You have 1,500?
5,000.
Flex that,
Everything.
son.
Talk
Hey,
about
hey,
it.
Manny money, baby.
Manny
money.
Cole got good money, but you ain't got that Manny money, baby. I'm just saying, Cole, we gotta come out
yeah.
here.
You
We
know,
gotta come
I
out
just
here.
gotta confess this real quick. I never got sock and boppers. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Soccer.
Right.
Oh,
my
remember
hand
that?
game was kind of nice, and nobody wanted, you know.
You can suck all day.
I always wanted
You
to
guys-
I was like, what?
Yeah. Do you guys ever have a toy where you wanted it but you never got it? You wanted it, like you wanted it, but you just never got it. And you got the rock, like the sock rock.
Oh.
sock.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I remember. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Got excited. I just got it recently. It just got, actually, I got it right now.
The question is that you never got it.
Right, but
But I got it now.
I'm interested now to find out
That's
what
the-
this
that's
is.
the main
So
thing.
you ain't gonna follow the rule. So I mean, I guess when you was in school, you never listened
Oh,
up.
man. Chucky doll. The Chucky doll. I always
word.
wanted that.
Oh, word.
Is it the original one
Or
or
did you get
like
the one that moves?
classic one?
Yeah,
The
the one that
classic.
moves.
We
Nah,
got
the
the
classic
new
one.
ones. Not the stitched face one that was like Chucky, like Bride. No,
Bride of
no,
Chucky.
you got the original, like Buddy. What was
Buddy.
it called?
Oh, yeah.
Tommy?
Buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy.
The new one, the electronic one is Buddy.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Buddy.
okay. Man, I always wanted board games when I was little. We never really got board games.
What, like Trouble and Song?
We had
quick.
Trouble, but that was it.
Guess who?
Guess who? It was the one I always
Guess
wanted.
Who?
Love it.
Guess
I
who?
can
I love that one.
You guys it was too
Kerplunk.
easy.
I played that one time, and it was at a friend's house in another freaking state, and I never played it again.
Hey, going back real quick, you said Chucky.
Yeah.
The first time I moved from my first house when I was younger, I had been like 6. I swear to God, I went downstairs in the basement. I'm checking around. There's a Chucky doll right here.
Nah,
I
get out.
picked it up. I swear. Picked it up. I threw it into the backyard that had all these woods. Ran inside. I swear to you, not.
It was
2
back in the
years
house.
later, it showed up in front of my house, just on my lawn.
Yes.
Bro.
I don't believe you.
Wow.
man. I don't believe you.
Wow.
I'm calling
Listen,
ball.
look, everybody has a Chucky story.
Yeah.
Like,
I do
the
love
first
Chucky.
time I watched Child's Play, I was with my cousin.
I can believe my
and
mom let me watch that.
He literally
I love
had
it.
a Chucky doll, but he didn't tell me he had a Chucky doll. He had the electronic one. So, of course, when
wow.
I'm asleep, he sits it on my lap. And it has his own little knife, and it's just like, I
Oh,
remember
that's
Chucky. And he, like, turns it on, and I, like, open my eyes and, like, scream and run towards my auntie. I was like, Auntie Loretta, Carl trying to kill me. Look. And I thought he was going to kill
Chucky
me.
and Puppet Master are always scared.
Puppet Master.
Puppet
yes.
Master was.
Yo,
Yo,
listen.
I
I
don't
was
like
low
that.
key
I don't
scared
like
of
toys
Leprechaun
that
for a
move.
minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Because I
like
just
toys
his
that
face.
Oh, okay.
Y'all remember Wishmaster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wishmaster was a low key,
Wishmaster.
like
Wishmaster, yeah.
horrifying thing to me. That and Pumpkinhead.
I always throw this
Pumpkinhead.
out there.
Hellraiser.
Toxic Avenger.
Hellraiser.
Who?
Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Adventure.
No,
No.
okay.
Sounds familiar.
Check
What is
it out.
this? You making up stuff, man. I don't like this.
Check it out.
Is it a game or
No,
is
it's
it
a
What is
movie.
it, bad relationship?
Right. Which Avengers
Toxic
is this?
Avenger.
I watched all the Avengers and I ain't seen the
Toxic
I'm about
Adventure.
to make a meme now.
Oh my god.
Toxic Avenger.
Adventure's toxic.
B-level horror films.
Probably. Yeah. So
Maybe
you know
C.
what I'm
I done seen
1984.
some B-level horror
1984.
films.
Sci-fi films
Anybody
and shit.
seen Bones?
Bones.
Oh,
the
my
TV show?
God.
Right.
I love
With
that one.
With
The
Snoop?
TV show?
No, it's
Oh.
Snoop.
That movie is terrible.
I watched that for the first time
It's
last
I'll
year.
continue to
Boy,
watch it because
I
it's
swear to God,
like
that
a...
blood was Kool-Aid, boy.
Wow.
Fruit punch, boy. Okay, now die.
Oh, working around with high C
Yo,
on
this-
his leg. All right.
You still looking
Toxic.
it up?
No,
You
all
looking it
right.
up?
All right. What?
Hold up.
What
Hold
is
up.
this?
Hold up.
Hold up.
I'm
Hold
gonna
up.
make time out.
Ain't this the dude from Goonies, man?
No, I
No.
know
Who's that?
this. I know this.
See?
Yes,
Okay.
I know this.
Take it all back, man.
Why you got a
I know
bob?
this.
You
Oh,
gotta
wow,
know
I
the
don't know.
story. Watch
He's a
the movie.
janitor,
And
wasn't
he
he?
eventually has
Oh,
a patch
man.
and everything.
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I know
crazy.
this.
Not was
And he has a
98
tutu.
pounds of
It's
solid.
the prequel to
And
the
he has a
Avengers.
tutu.
A prequel? Get out of here.
This
I love
Thanos.
this guy.
Thanos. Oh my
This
god.
Thanos.
His baby
I love this
Thanos.
guy. We
This
have
is college
somebody who
years.
dresses up as him in
It's
the
college
cosplay
years.
wrestling.
Wow.
I wasn't always a god.
I'm gonna make you watch it one day. Watch. I'm gonna be in the locker room like,
I'm
here.
like, Popeye.
You gonna watch
come
this?
here.
I gotta get ready for my
Like a
match.
mangled
The
Popeye.
music gonna be hitting. I'm like, wait, 5 more
Popeye
minutes.
cousin, I got
5
mangled
more
by a
minutes.
snubble.
5 more
That's
minutes.
No, it's ugly. Get it away
man.
from me. It's so bad. So you've been keeping up with the NFL season, right?
Oh yes.
This has been a really interesting season. You've been watching.
So.
So-so?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be more excited about basketball this season. I thought I
The
was.
Sixers are doing good.
They're okay. They lose games they shouldn't be losing.
True.
I still want to
But that's Philly.
Sound like the
That's it. I was about to go. I'm like,
That's Philly though.
Let's talk about
That's
that division.
expected. That's expected,
forever.
but we
Alright.
still always never
You
expected.
ain't never
All
gonna
right.
get that back.
3-17, bro. It's
Hey, see, y'all getting cooked
You got
right
close
now
with the Rams.
against the Giants. Y'all
One
should
year.
win.
Well, that's why I don't get
Why y'all
involved,
say
man.
y'all?
That's why I don't get involved.
second half just
No,
99, yeah.
You don't know
It's not
that.
good, bro.
You don't know that.
Eli's back.
Bro,
You don't know that.
Wow.
Eli's
Is it
back.
refreshed?
The second half.
Did you refresh it?
Y'all was this close. That scrimmage line.
Do it again. He's like,
12-01 in the third.
Russell Wilson.
I think you're looking at 2018 season scores, man. Watch that.
he said, you refresh it. Do it again.
Bro, it's on
Do it again.
bro,
Do it
like-
again. I want to see you swipe your finger on the phone to refresh. Yeah, no, you ain't do it good enough to give it to me. I don't give a damn.
Look,
Eagles
yo,
can go down burning flames and all.
how come your
Boom.
screen don't go bloop?
Right? I just said that.
That's that good internet.
No, ain't no good internet. There's something on your fingers.
Uh-oh.
Why is your fingers got moisture on it? All right.
That's good internet. He's hooked up to my phone. To my internet.
You got clear?
No.
You got clear?
There was a time I
Get
had
clear. Oh really? What happened?
You got clear?
it.
Yeah. You know I
You
got
ever,
clear.
you ever like put your fingers on it and it never works because you're like
Yeah.
dried?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This way you
Oh,
get
yeah.
pre-check, brother.
They'd be like,
I got
oh,
regular pre-check. That's why I switched to
But
pre-check.
pre-check and clear?
I got pre-check.
You can do both.
That's
Why
what
would
I'm
you- why would you do
Yeah,
that?
well, because some airports have both. It's a
Yeah.
connection thing.
Especially
where
when
it's
that
just
pre-check line is long.
It's
My man don't know what we talking about. He's like,
Y'all different times right now.
he's over there.
I'm still waiting in line all the way in the back. Man. I'm like,
Oh, you want to
You're a
talk?
customer,
You
you
want
can't
to talk
help
about
it.
that time TSA pre-check saved me?
oh, that story. Oh, man.
Brother, so check this out. All right, so I had the PCW
Oh.
Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, I said it.
Nope.
Shout out PCW. Shout out Glenn.
PCW.
Shout out Chic over there.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
still doing
yeah.
his thing.
Joey
Chic.
Machete.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Joey Machete.
White.
Good old. Yeah.
Cheeky
This
white.
Friday on YouTube Live.
Everyone. Say something.
All right.
So I had the heavyweight title, right? Me and him, at that time we were bringing the podcast on the road. So we were doing live podcasting before the show started, and they have a big old VIP thing. So me and my man Teasy were going out to LA. He stayed at my house the night before, so morning we wake up, oh man, we got everything packed, good, we got all the equipment, good, we checking that, everything ready to go. We're in line at TSA, literally about to, right before we go into the metal detectors. I'm
Which
like,
airport is this?
Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, we're right on time. We good. I ain't got the belt.
Oh no!
And this is the last match I had before I'm
That's bad.
going here, coming to PC. I'm like,
That's the worst
yo.
feeling ever.
I was like, yo, stay right here.
Can you imagine?
Just go to the gate. He's like, try to get out. No, stop the gate and like whatever. I'm gonna go find a way back. We have like 30 minutes to make the flight. 30 minutes.
And you live here?
Yeah, I'm living here at this house.
How far is the airport?
8 minute drive.
Okay.
But how am I gonna get from here to here?
I
At the
mean,
time, Desmond Xavier was living here. Shout out
Okay.
Des. I ain't seen him in a minute.
I played with Call of Duty.
Oh, you on that with him?
Yeah.
Were you on Apex with him too?
We'll see you
Yep.
soon,
Yeah.
Des.
So Des wasn't home, but his girlfriend Erica was. So I called, like, I don't have her number, so I'm calling her on Facebook. And girls never answer Facebook phone calls, ever. It's the creepiest thing ever. I'm like, she ain't never gonna answer this. She ain't never gonna answer this.
No.
She ain't never gonna answer this. She ain't never gonna answer this. Finally, she was like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh my gosh, she answered. Hey, real quick, could you get the title belt off the mantle, drive it over? I'm literally out front of the freaking thing on a departing. When she's like, oh, I gotta go to work, but yeah, I can do that real quick. She zooms by, departing, launches the belt out the thing. I catch it, boom, go in.
Randy
TSA,
Moss.
I'm like, oh, TSA pre-check. Oh, here's my ticket. TSA pre-check. Oh, slide through.
Nice.
So-
into the
so-
metal detector. Through the metal detector. Get dressed. Take the jacket off. Get that jacket back on.
So-
He's like,
Yeah.
and what were you doing on the meanwhile at the gate?
So listen, my head's spinning because I'm like, okay, I don't know. Is he going to take like another flight? Or I'm saying to my
There were no
head,
other flights either. Get
Was
there
it that
at 7.
night, the show?
Yep.
yeah, the show was the same night. So I'm like, okay. So you go through the little train thing, go to your little gate and stuff like that. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay. But black people on our way is kind of different.
Yeah.
For black people on our way, like we say 10 minutes, that mean
I can be
40.
up the street.
That mean up the street means I'm about 40 minutes away. So that, that's how we know the
You know
gauge.
about that different time.
So, yeah, on a different time.
Mexican time.
So I'm standing up there at the gate, and they're like, "Yeah, last call for boarding and stuff." He's like, "I'm on the shuttle now," and it was like, and they kept saying, Antoine Lewis, and his government. So I'm
I
like,
was like, who is that?
yeah, that's me. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. So the lady at the desk is like, are you going to board the plane? I'm like, he's coming. Just wait a couple minutes. I said that about 5 times. Next thing I know, he came down. It was like
The door is closing.
the door's closing,
As I'm
and he
running.
comes walking down.
Like, wait.
Yeah, he's like, wait, and I'm like, hold on. No, yo, them ladies was so mad, yo.
He was like faking like, hey, I gotta tie my boot real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hold on, man. I was like, my back, my chest hurt. Hold on.
Dude, he saved me, man.
He saved me.
Me, Cedric, and Swan when we had to drive for work during a hurricane, and we had to drive to North Carolina, and we stayed at
Was I there?
No, I think it was just us 3.
Oh, okay.
And we drove to PWX's guy Ronkowski, and the next day we had the flight, and we were getting there, but we ended up getting a flat. And we were so stressed out that we weren't going to make our flight. Luckily for us, when we got there, especially almost giving up, we got there and got through. We got to our destination. It was probably Louisiana or something like that. But
Yeah.
I was about to say, y'all have any of these
Stressful.
travel
All the time.
struggles?
every Thursday.
Every day.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. There's an
Every
issue.
week. Catching that flight is so stressful.
Getting to Orlando. First off, the Orlando airport is like.
No, that one's a breeze.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
got that down to a T. Like I show up an hour. Like I leave my house an hour before boarding. The boarding time, not flight time.
I'm like, ooh.
I'm already-
TSA,
yeah.
boom, bam, 15
Used to
minutes.
it.
I got 5 minutes there.
Man.
Boarding. That's
I had like a lot of wrestling friends like stay at my house, and like they always had issues every time. Like there'd be times they missed the flight all the time. And I'm like,
I've missed flights, yeah.
miss.
Coming home, I miss flights.
That's the worst.
Going to a show, I don't think.
Yeah,
I
that's the
miss-
worst. Nobody wants to miss your flight coming home, man.
Oh, coming home all the
Yeah.
time. From Chicago, most of the
I
time.
just
Oh,
recently
dude,
just
Chicago
missed
airport.
like a flight
It's terrible.
From
coming home from WrestleCade. It was my last indie booking before I could take
Carolina?
before I
Yeah.
could take a break.
Mhm.
And oh man, I was so distraught. I was like,
That's the worst feeling.
I was like, I won't be able to get back home until the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I already missed my family.
I had one
But, like,
promoter and
luckily,
I almost buy my flight
It
back.
pretty much turned out good.
Really? There you
Yeah,
go.
I got to see my trainer George South versus the Great
Oh, he's
Muda.
awesome, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
It was pretty dope.
PWG, I was supposed to go from there to Canada and do a show, and the promoter there, he's like, oh man, like, he had me a flight. I was supposed to fly that night. It was like 10 something. You know, PWG always runs late.
Yeah.
And that's LAX?
LAX.
Oh man, it gets
LAX.
crazy.
My match was done at
Yikes.
9:30,
Oh
Yeah.
no way.
and the flight was at
Yeah.
10:05.
Oh no way.
I mean, so like, there's
No
no
way.
way. And
Not
then-
gonna be able to do it.
bruh.
Yeah.
Was that
Not
Toronto
gonna
you were
be
going
able
to?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, there's
international
no
flight.
way.
Yeah.
So Danny on the spot bought me the ticket right then and there. I'll
That's
never
cool.
forget that.
That's
I was
cool.
like, wow. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you're good. Don't worry about it. I was like,
That's cool.
never been booked again though. So actually, no, I was. We just missed our flights because of connection and
Oh, okay,
cancellations
there you
and
go.
stuff. But
He said twice.
I just remember that
You're
building
out.
being so hot.
that was the summer. That was in June too.
Yeah.
That building was.
It was so hot.
Oh, Glenn, shout out Glenn calling me. We gonna get to you in a second, bro. We got business to talk
Yeah,
about.
sure.
But yeah, like this podcast thing. I got
Yup,
connections. Like I'm saying. Anyway, moving on. Any last questions? Matter of fact, Swerve City Podcast is about being confident, man. Even through the highs of highs, the lows of lows, getting through the struggle. People that watch this podcast, we have fans out there in the Patreon. Thank you for subscribing to us and watching and
Yes.
literally staying on every episode and getting these views up. They struggle through everyday life and they probably went through some stuff. You probably went through some things that they are going through right now. What are some like really big like struggle moments in your careers where you were just like at the low points and you were like, man, I don't know if I can get through this hurdle. I don't know if I can get through this. Like each one, y'all, like, because somebody might be going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And some.
I think 2010, this going back to what I was talking about, just leaving my area. I had just graduated college, got my BA in math, and I had no idea what I really wanted to do. I knew I was still wrestling. That was our goal. That's like tunnel vision. And I ended up moving from New Jersey to Florida and just starting brand new and just being in Florida. It was, at first it was cool because like you know you're the new toy and everybody's like booking you, but then you realize like it was like you're like, oh man, and then you're doing like the same thing like almost every week. There was a lot of work. It was great, but like I wasn't getting any better. But then, you know, and then I just had a kid, like no job. I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Like no family. You know, I had my grandmom down here, but like she's taking care of my grandpa. I'm kind of taking care of them, you know, with no plan. Have no idea what I wanted to do. I did have one flight going back home, and right before then, I had put in like 4 applications for teaching jobs, just for math, like because I know that those were like in demand. But again, my vision wasn't to be a math teacher. That was my backup plan, not my plan. I wanted to wrestle, but that was always my backup plan. And I remember trying to get on the plane, or I actually got to the airport, and I got like 2 calls. Hey, we got a job interview for math. I was like, whoa, at some good schools too, like here in Florida. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna stay here. But then I realized like that was a struggle. I had no car. Like my grandma didn't really have a car. She didn't want me to drive in her car.
It was before Uber.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like ask people to come out of the way to come get me to do these shows in Florida that aren't 20-minute shows. Like an hour in Florida is like forever in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
And then driving to Miami, you're like, oh my God, this ride is forever. But then like doing that and just not getting signed, seeing my friends get signed, is like
At that time, yeah.
no one wants to fly you out because you know there's other things out there. But like you get, like you said, you get tunnel vision, and even through teaching, I did that for 6 years, and that was, you know, waking up 7, going to work 7 to 5, going home doing family things, waking up doing that, and then doing the indies. It was like tiring. I almost like gave up around like 2013.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
What was the change?
I think I think actually seeing my friends get signed. Like I was bitter, and I was like, Sammy was one, you were one, and I was like, man, like, and I always saw that, especially when the first time we met. I was like, man, we're both gonna be something. We're always gonna make the dance. We're always gonna be in that company that we all wanted to do, or just be at that high level where we're at now.
Yeah.
And seeing that, like, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna give up. Like, I got people that depend on me, and you know, use that platform instead of it being my goal now is to use it as support. You know, for my family, while still enjoying it. Just got an action figure. It's cool. You know,
Totally right. Like it's a good feeling.
You get to be in the game. Like getting the action figure merch is
like man, imagine like talking to 2013 you right now, having that conversation.
Yeah.
And
right.
like I always try to think about that. Like man, talk to like 2012 yourself. Like
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
What would I tell myself like 10 years ago or 20 years ago? You know,
like it's great up here, man.
Yeah,
You did it.
Like everything's gonna be okay.
You're going to do it.
You're
Like,
gonna
you're going to
you
do
know,
it.
tell me
Put your
like
mind to
just
it.
calm, you'll be fine. You're gonna do it. You know, just keep pushing, or you know what I mean. That's what I would tell myself.
Yeah. What would you say your moment was? Your time period. Like as far as like just feeling your lows, and you're like.
Well, I mean, I started in Chicago in Windy City Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
And dude, it was tough because like I had no connections. I didn't know anybody. I've always wanted to backyard wrestle, like I said, but I just did not know anybody. So I looked it up on the internet, and I was going in college at the time, downtown Chicago, Robert Morris College, and from there it took me like 2 trains and 2 buses to get there. So I was really dedicated. So and then just I just did it as a hobby. Like it lasted like 5 or 6 years. That's why I ran into you, at, doing Chicago shows and a couple of tag team matches here and there, and then that's where I'm like, hey yo, how can I go to Chicago? Oh, you gotta go over there yourself. I'm like, damn man, what's wrong with this guy, man? Man, I don't like you, dude. I'm like, I don't like this guy, but nah, he's cool now. So, but yeah, like I said, like I had no connections. I didn't know anybody. So, and then I somehow got a connection with Mexico, the TU. I'm just telling the story, and then I'll tell you how it is. It's like a roller coaster.
Take your time.
So, then that's where I met Crazy Boy and the TU.
I met
So then he
Crazy
got
Boy.
me. Yeah, you wrestled him. Yeah, he wrestled there too, right?
Yeah,
So,
Raul Mendoza at the time.
Oh, well, there you go. That's where I met him too.
Yep.
That Raul.
Jinzo.
He was named as Tribal before.
He had like
Tribal.
another name?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Tribal. There we go.
Tribal?
Yeah,
He
Tribal.
was Jinzo by the time I met him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Really?
Jinzo.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, so I was planning to get there. So that was in 2009, going to 2010. Then I broke my leg. So that was a big downfall. I'm like, oh man, that's it. Because I paid my ticket to go down there, and I was just gonna, hey, I'm in town. Can I do that? You know what I mean? So I already had like stuff lined up. So that happened. I'm like, oh great. So 6 months later, instead of 9 months, I came back and I did the Gali show again. And I was just working Chicago shows here and there, and again I started falling in love with it. Then I got a side job. I was doing after school programs. I was also a life skills instructor for the mentally disabled. So it's like a special ed teacher for like different ages at an agency. So I did that for 3.5 years. Now, here comes the biggest moment. But before that, I know. Well, before that, I want to backtrack a little bit. I started traveling because of Michael Paris.
Another guest on the episode.
Michael Paris.
Shout out Joaquin Wild.
That's another
Just came back. I'm
dude,
excited.
man. Yeah, he just came back, man. Shout out, dude, man.
Yes.
Feel better. And dude, because of him, like I started traveling New York. And then I started, traveling a little bit more. And then Lucha Vavoom, and it's just taking off. Then I was traveling in the States, Yeah. So, and then from there, now they made like, in Mexico, okay, cool, we had the dates, and we're going to do Lucha. It's called Expo Lucha. Have you ever been there? Expo Lucha is like the biggest expos they do.
Yeah, I know of them, though.
Yeah, and it's cool. And it's like, it's an all-day selling merch from 8 a.m. to midnight, bro. Dude, imagine wearing the mask that long. I'm like,
You want to
dude.
make the money? Wear the mask.
Wear the mask, dude.
I would have
It
been
was
like,
pretty cool though.
somebody
It
would
was
have been
cool.
heckling. Yeah, can I get it for them? Yeah, all right, man. You know what?
Dude, we do those 1 hour ones, and I'm constantly like, God damn.
Oh
Trying to
man,
smash.
but dude, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
a big expo, and a lot of feds there, and it's fun. So I already had everything planned, and radio, whatever, TV, news, whatever. It's pretty cool. So I landed at that show. And I did this show. You can see a couple clips and Samurai del Sol Tragedia, means tragedy. You can look it up on YouTube, and I did a double backflip to the outside, and I miscalculated. So, and then I ended up hitting the floor. Actually, the guardrail stopped my momentum, so it hit the back of my head. Then I hit the floor. So I don't remember much then, but I do remember like being face down, like with people patting me on the back with a bunch of towels and looking on the side with like a big mountain of towels full of blood. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're sewing my head in the back. They're sewing the back of my head. So, and I'm just like super like dazed and confused and like, what the hell? So they carried me and helped me. So down in Mexico, I did that show, and I was kicked out of 3 hospitals because I didn't have papers. So yeah, dude, because I had nothing. But luckily I have family over there, a lot of family in Mexico. Wow. So I think my family got contacted, and so yeah, and then from there I think my cousins picked me up, and luckily I ended up like getting into a hospital. So it's pretty cool that like my family took care of me over there. So I went back to the States. I got a little better because I couldn't flown. I ended up in Mexico 3 months. So with my brain really swollen, so I was diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome. So I always tell everybody it feels like being drunk day and night, nonstop.
I feel like we all like
Dude, I know, right? Dude. But dude, it's the worst feeling ever, man. It's the worst feeling
You
ever.
ever been knocked out?
Yes, several times. I shouldn't even talk about.
You know how
it.
it feels, man. You too,
2007,
dude.
man.
You too.
I took that big shooting star senton and just crashed.
And just boom. You know how
I do
dude, it's
remember looking
terrible.
at
That white light. That's for real
Dude.
quick.
Oh, man.
I got that real quick
ECW
flash.
Arena, November 27, 2007. I was wrestling Mitch Ryder. Jakara's like, there was one more match after me. It was Chris Hero and Claudio.
Yes.
And it was me and Mitch in this like big feud. And then at the end, I was supposed to hit the shooting star senton on him. And everybody was outside, all the technicals, all the rudos on, like Jakara style. And I just remember like I went up and I hit the move like hundreds of times before, maybe like 8 times, but like the wrestling
More like 8
times,
Shooting star
100,
senton, like
800.
8
You hit it
times,
3
it's
times. You're like, I mastered it.
yeah,
It's
right.
over. I got it.
So I was like, all right, cool. ECW Arena, we're gonna hit this.
ECW.
I go up and I hit, and I was like, boom. I was like, God. And I remember looking at Ricochet, but at that time he was Helios.
Yep.
And I was just like, but in my head, I'm like, dude, I think I got knocked out. But I didn't say anything. If you watch it back, I'm just like, and then all of a sudden, like, I go up, black out, start having a seizure in the middle of the ring. Mind you,
wow.
it was the first time I invited my whole family.
Oh man, that
Mom,
sucks.
my grandma, my sister.
Yo.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and they think it's a part of the show, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this isn't a part of the show.
Man, that sucks.
That's the scariest part when it's like the show. Do we go in or do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Daisy
that.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Well, like looking back at the video, like obviously I don't remember, but like Daisy Hayes, I guess was an EMT at that time, and she was like on point, like to help me out because the doctor
good,
there
man.
was like not having. I don't know what was up with that. I do know what, but we're not gonna get into it. But she saved my life, honestly. I don't give her enough credit, but like she definitely saved my life that day.
Jesus.
That's
It
dope,
goes
man.
to show y'all how much like we risk death every time we get in that ring. No matter how.
Everybody, y'all crazy.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
Because you
We
don't
crazy.
all
You
these,
crazy too.
these
I have my crazy elements,
Crazy.
but I never like
You don't see me on top rope.
Man.
I've never gone.
Yo,
I never had like
Bro.
experiences
Higher
like
the
that
Yeah.
See?
to that extreme, and that's
See
like
double backflip?
that's what the risk we go
Mean
through
hip toss.
trying to get noticed. Trying to get noticed, trying to get our name out there. You was traveling all over the place trying to get your name out there.
Yeah.
And that's what you were willing to risk.
Did you have a music video on the Indies? Did you make your own?
I didn't make my own. I never made my own.
Never?
Never made my own. Yeah. If so, it wouldn't have been nothing crazy like that to put on. Maybe like a death
I
match.
think I started in like YouTube just started. So my music videos were like.
I didn't really get a new music video till
I had one.
Lucha Underground.
Oh, really?
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, that's when they start splicing all that stuff in together.
Okay.
Lucha Underground.
Man, you would have had a
Dude.
ball. Both of y'all
Dude,
would have had
man.
a ball.
I loved it.
But, you know.
I did love my...
it
Dude,
was
it's
phenomenal
unique.
time.
It's unique.
Phenomenal
It's fun.
time. But yeah, it's about time to let y'all go, man.
I got the
Thank-
kitties waiting for me.
I know, right?
Same.
Kids need to eat.
Where
My
you at,
lucha,
Dad?
my
Where
lucha
you at?
kitties.
Yes. But yeah,
Kitty.
like let them know where to find you. You got a YouTube page out now. Like y'all doing some things, closing out
Doing
the
some
year.
things, man. We're here in Swerve City, you know.
Yes, sir.
You can follow me at Kalisto WWE and follow my YouTube channel, Lucha Family. We're going to get back up and running. And here goes to my boy right here.
Wow.
What up? On Instagram, I'm Luchador LD, and on Twitter, I think I'm Lince_Dorado. I might have gotten that flipped.
You just flipped that, bro.
Do you know mine better than me?
I did because I had to tweet you.
That may or may not have been the reminder. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's more for me and my kids just to pop them. We like, just hang out, play video games, open up Pokemon packs, and they like, they like videos. So
We're gonna get that content a little spicier though, because I got my crew over here.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
we
sir.
can refer to. I rent them out. I don't get no
Thank
damn.
you.
I'm about to start getting
my kids are gonna love
5%.
it, man. They gonna love it.
I swear to God, I am.
Sure.
But I'm renting
You
them
got
out.
PayPal?
My
You got
money.
PayPal?
I
Yeah.
do.
My
I'm gonna get that 5%, but I'm renting them out. They getting some work, man. They were working with some people,
All
so
right.
this podcast
Oh,
opening up
good.
doors for a lot of people, man. And I'm happy
It's
to see
growing.
that grow. I'm happy to see my team grow from it.
Awesome.
That's what I'm happy
Keep
about.
going,
All
man.
because
You're
of
doing
wrestling.
good.
Oh, wrestling, the love of it. And I'm fortunate about the people that get to come in here and enjoy their time. Like you get to be doing anything, you can be home resting your bodies, man. But y'all chose to come out here and spend time with us, and I always
Yeah, man.
appreciate that. I love you guys to death, man.
My boy, man.
appreciate
Swerve
that.
City.
Swerve
Remember?
City.
Yeah, dude.
We family here. We preach
Let me
confidence.
get a shirt size large.
Hey. So as always, man, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, Teasy Scott, Instagram, Twitter, things of that nature. From Humble Beginnings, me and Swerve's album's dropping. April 4th. Make sure you guys check that out.
Nice.
We have a classic project coming. I am also doing getting back into ghostwriting for some people, stuff that I'm not performing, but there's a couple young artists that I'm working with, and they just need a little help.
You help
So
me.
I'm helping them, get their little career started and stuff like that. Salute to them. And follow me and subscribe to everything we have going on. The Swerve City Podcast page right there for you guys that want to know how to spell it once again, because I get that tweet like every week. Yeah, I'm the only one that get it though. It's weird. And, make sure you guys
y'all would ask me.
stay tuned to everything that we have going on. Pass it over to my sis, Big Swole.
Big swoop.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Swole World, and you can find me on Instagram, newly verified, the Big Swole. DA.
Flex on me.
All
You got that
right.
blue check?
Yeah, I got that blue check. I got one blue check down. One more to go. That's
All
one
right.
for
Shoot, I
Swole.
only got one blue check at this point.
Right.
What
See,
you
I'm
need?
coming up in the world.
only got Twitter.
You can also find me.
Yep.
None. Go ahead.
Sorry.
See, y'all.
See, we just side chatting. We
This
bad
Side
at it.
chatter.
I'm
Look,
bad at
exactly.
it.
What a belt. Somebody give me a belt. Ain't none of y'all wearing belts, huh?
Nope.
No belts.
Shame. You can also find me now on TNT on Wednesdays, 8, 7 Central, so check it out. And another shout out to Around Seattle, man. We really do appreciate for all this cool stuff.
We got 2 seasons out of this. They ain't shut us down yet. Episode 16. Too late. Ah.
Dare you, network. Shut us
What we got for the Patreon? Sai.
Just shout out the crew. Just shout out to our patrons. Wish them a happy holidays in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you to a lovely leader.
Oh. Yo, you don't want me to say it?
These names and
What's this? What? Okay. Well, how do you spell this? I'll get to it.
See?
Anyway,
See?
so shout out to Glenn Carambis out there. Thank you for being a Patreon.
Glenn
the Goon, Glenn the
Goon.
Goon.
5% for giving you that name, brother.
Yeah, he's been calling me. I'm gonna get to you in a second. We got Jay Sean.
newly
Sean.
subscribed.
Newly subscribed, Jay Sean. Jay Sean, thank you for the
Sean.
subscribe. Patron. What's it?
Patron.
Patron. What's the thing the kids are saying? We got Dwayne, not Johnson, but Dwayne. Shout out Dwayne, man.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
know, right? You're like, oh.
What? How do you say this? Arachnophobia. What's his name?
I don't know. Skip that one.
Yeah. Oh.
Shout out to you though, bro.
Shout out to you, Arcady Yarrick. Okay, Lise. One of my greatest fans.
OG.
Oh, really?
Ever.
OG.
Like she got
Nice.
she got
Nice.
Swerve tattooed on her arm. Down
Wow.
the arm with the logo.
Hey, yo,
Tweet it,
shout
I
out.
see it.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I'll put it out there. She got writes letters, man.
That's
She's
awesome.
sweet. Sweetest lady I've ever met.
That's
Out
cool.
in the UK.
Sweetest pie.
Shout out, Lise.
Please,
Carlito V. Shout out Carlito V.
Carlito V.
Carlito V. Eric Dellinger.
Eric Dillinger.
Eric Dellinger. Yep, we shouting you out, man. Thank you for pledging and
Thank you.
patroning
Thank you.
and y'all gotta give me the terminology right. I'm bad. Jonathan. That's a very basic name out of all of them, but Jonathan. Shout you out.
Jonathan.
Hi, John.
Jonathan. And that's all. That's all the new ones.
That's all, folks.
Shout you out, man. And so we're gonna close this with be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
Or you gonna get a pop out.
How? Season 3 coming
Two in the
soon.
books.
Season 2.
Hey guys, I'm Lucha Lit, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
16 episodes.
Thank you.
Lucha Lit.
Happy New Year, 2019.
Oh, no, it's
Thanks, Swole World.
What's the score?
New mixtape coming soon.
17-10.
Dude,
April
hey,
Fool's.
hey, that's not
We had
bad.
10.
That's not bad.